It is easy to go online and find a property. There are various sites where you can go and search for properties that are listed. However, those sites can't tell you the difference between a good short term rental or one that isn't in a zoning area that can be conducive for an overnight rental. We set up the initial buyer's consultation meeting. A lot of times that's done here in the office, but these days, especially with investors from all over, it's typically a Zoom call. So let's say we've spent an hour or so getting to know each other, getting to know what they need, what they're looking for, and educating them a little bit. We also want to go through the process of making sure they're pre-approved with a trusted lender. So next step, after these things are in place, we're going to start looking for a property. We have a pretty good surplus of investment properties on the market available. However, combing through all those investment properties as their buyer's representative, I have to make sure the numbers are there that make sense. The math has got to math. A lot of agents these days are neglecting to put the rental history, that's what we're looking for the cabins on the MLS and the data. So I have to dig. This can take hours and hours and phone calls and research or text messages to find out what the actual numbers are. And I get it. They're not putting it on there anymore because they're not making the money they used to. Anyway, with interest rates higher now than they were a year ago, 2 years ago, again, that math has to math. Properties that I think will work for the buyers, those are going to be selected and sent to review. Then we have another consultation. We get together and go over the ones they like. And usually at that time, they either want to schedule showings and showing appointments, or we can go in place for them if they can't be here and do video walkthroughs. Scheduling showings for short-term rentals can be difficult because if they're a good short-term rental, they're going to be rented or busy. So you got to find that nice time where that's maybe a turn day. Checkout's usually 10 a.m. Check-in is usually 3 or 4 p.m. And try to work around the cleaners that are in there. And then we go into another process of finding out the expenses. We're talking insurance, we're talking taxes, we're talking rental management fees. And of course, depending on what lender they chose and their loan product, how much are they putting down? What is their interest rate going to be? So each one of these potential properties has to be dissected to make sure the math is mathing. Once they make their selection, then we put in an offer. Here's where the negotiation begins. You want somebody to represent you to negotiate the best offer possible with the best terms. Yay, if all goes well, then you're under contract. And then guess what? Then the work really gets started. Because for the next 30 days, if there's a loan involved, then you're going to be helping them with their due diligence period. Their inspections, surveys, a pest inspection, a home inspection, radon tests, septic inspections, and many other possible inspections. We also have to get through the appraisal and more negotiations potentially, and then getting it cleared through the lender, clear to close, and closing at the title. So there's a whole lot to it, but I'm happy to report back that the most recent first-time investors, you might have seen a reel that I posted on social media where we had spent a whole day with the buyer looking at 7 different investment properties. Yes, one of those properties was selected, and happily we are under contract today. And that particular property actually is doing 11.5% ROI. That's exactly what we're looking for these new first-time buyers. So when you see a cheesy agent photo online that is just a picture of the agent, maybe the property saying under contract, pending, well, that's not telling the whole story behind what took place. Typically, if you see an agent posting, that means they put many hours of time into that before they have the ability to actually post. And I think it's important for the public to know how much time and work we actually put in to our clients before these milestones get accomplished.
Thanks so much. And I hope you learned something. And if you know a first time buyer or if you yourself are a first time buyer, I hope you understand the importance of having your own representation when it comes to purchasing property.
Penny Cowell, Monarch Realty, and as always, embracing change brilliantly.